Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your reading. For those of you who are new to me, my name is Kelly Lunt. I'm an intuitive channel medium and law of attraction expert. And my spirit guides love to come in and give you those mic drop moments that just stop you from going down the right path and never give you what you think you need, but what you actually need to get you to where you want to be and enjoy the journey towards your manifestation. So Sagittarius, it looks like for right now, the soul level lesson you're going through. Ooh, it's a rough one. It's like, how do you do your karmic growth? How do you do that growth that you came down here to live without like erupting on the human side? How do you go and do that inner child work, that shadow work, and then snap out of it to be like a balanced human on the human side? So you're definitely kind of balancing how to do the inner work, that shadow work, that subconscious work without letting it bleed over into like your day-to-day life. And like what's coming to me right now is to say is that as you're doing that deep inner work, it's knowing that that's like a book you're reading. And when you read the book, you got to close the book and then segment intend law of attraction. I'm now at work. I need to let go of the book I was doing and I need to focus on work and then talk about work a little bit to kind of warm yourself up to it. I'm working because I like my paychecks. I'm working to feed my family at home. I'm working because I like the money it gives me for the trips I take. At work, what's expected out of me is good Excel sheets. At work, what's expected out of me is good customer service. So it's kind of like that's how you switch between the two. You gotta like, whoa, that was a great inner child I cleaned up. Recognizing that when you do like that subconscious work, it's like a long-term goal you're hitting. It's not supposed to be this, whoa, I just cleaned this inner child out. My world's changed, right? Because that's you still lingering in the last little bit of the transformation. It's, whoa, my world's changed. Well, now I'm curious what life is going to be like. Well, now I'm curious what dating is going to be like. Now I'm curious what work's going to be like. Now I'm curious who the new me is going to be. So like that's how you shift and transition back to like day-to-day life after doing that deep inner work. And that's kind of what you're going to be mastering until I do your next read. So on the human level life, it looks like your human level lesson is how to like not feel deflated and defeated after going through that inner growth. It can happen. Like if you grew up with a lot of trauma and you start cleaning up inner children, it can hit a point. At first it's like, whoa, that's cool, that's cleared. Whoa, that was fun that was cleared. And then it can hit a point where you're like, oh my God, I'm now aware of all the shadow work I have to do. And that just seems daunting and overwhelming. So what's the advice for that one? Oh, that's where you got to recognize that your shadow work isn't like a sacrifice. It isn't like a pentant. How do you say that? Pension? Pentant? Penitence? I don't want to say that word, but it's that belief system where you have to like suffer before it can get good. Um, so it's recognizing that that belief system is underneath that, and you just got to change that. You don't have to suffer before it gets good. Even though a lot of inner child work is essentially processing and feeling old emotions that for whatever reason you couldn't when you were younger, and it was painful emotion. So even though there's just sad feelings, despair, helplessness, it doesn't mean that it has to be, I'm sacrificing so my kids, don't have to go through this. It's a, whoa, I'm really getting to know myself and I'm really getting to know some old emotions that I couldn't feel. Wow, that was a lot of sadness I've been carrying with me. Do you kind of see a little bit of the difference? You're still honoring the low vibe emotions without letting it like be a self-sacrifice. Because it's kind of like you're holding yourself in this place of pain because it's until I clean up all these inner children, I can't enjoy XYZ. You're like holding yourself in self isolation. I need to clean all these up before I can enjoy a relationship. What if it was I'm a growing human being. I have some inner child work to do so I can show up better and healthier in a relationship. And universe, if there's someone that I can like date right now and we go through some growth together and they watch me evolve as become a better and better human being and it can turn into a life mate, well, great. That way you're at least open to the possibility of like good feeling things coming in as you're going through this like deep shadow work that you're doing that doesn't feel so good. So it's kind of like just balancing out how to allow yourself feel good when you have something extremely negative in your life too. And it's the combination of both. I'm all about using the law of attraction to heal because it can propel you forward quicker so you're not stuck in the muck so long. Right? If you're just focused on cleaning up shadow work, you're literally just looking in your past doing digging up landmines and there's always going to be more landmines, right? But if you do the law of attraction point forward, I'm ready to experience this type of a relationship, then as you're being pulled forward in life, the only inner children or shadow work that you have to do that comes up are ones that need to be cleaned up for you to enjoy that. So that's what this is about. Instead of just looking in the past and going, whoa, I have all these inner children to clean up and cleaning them up. Like the main reason why you're suffering is because you don't have that inspiration that you're moving toward. So it's like oh, I just cleaned that inner child up. Oh, good. Now I see how I'll be healthier in relationships, or now I see how I'll be able to earn more money. It's that dangling carrot forward that like you need to get. And that way you're only really doing the cleanup work for what you need to do to get what you want. Um, wow, it's a big month for you guys. So it looks like in your recent past, it looks like in your recent past, you did kind of get lost in Shadowland. You did get lost in feeling mystical and magical because you're like now getting better at that subconscious work. So you kind of got lost in it. And it can feel disoriented if you get lost doing subconscious work if you don't have that thing you're moving towards. The only time, what I always recommend is if you're hitting fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, a fear response, that's when inner child work, subconscious work, shadow work is warranted. If you're not hitting one of those towards a goal you're hitting, if you're not having a fight or fight response to a goal you're moving towards, then you're just doing shadow work to do shadow work. And that's when you're like lost in no man's land. And it looks like right now, yeah, you got the unknown card. So in the current energy, it's like that, whoa, I just went through something really rough and I'm not sure what to say or think about it. I know I can't go that way again, but yet I also like feel a little not stuck, but I feel a little where's my thing? In the past when I've done inner child work, I've always gotten a result afterwards and now I'm not getting results. But again, that's because you don't have that dangling carrot, that goal, that manifestation that you're going towards. So it's like kind of time to set the vision for the next chapter of your life. Because going into the future, yeah, man, you really need to set the next vision for your life, Sagittarius. Because without it, your life's not going to go up in flames, but it's going to just feel like this torturous soul journey. It's like, why am I here? Am I just here to suffer? Am I just here to clean up this generational karma from my parents, screw my parents for that childhood when I was younger, that like traumatic childhood? Like, this is a huge 3/4 of your reading is all about it's time to set the goal, the good feeling thing that you're moving towards, and be willing to allow in, like, you can have friendship and companionship as you do your inner child work. You know, like I have one friend who she just loves to listen when I'm like, oh my God, you would not believe it. I did some shadow work this morning. I found 4 inner kids that were intertwined. One was age 2, one was age 4, and it was from this that happened with my parents when I was that age, and this and this. And then when so I had to go and heal this one so that this one could feel safe to heal. Like, so I tell her the long, drawn out story, and she loves listening. So to see how I'm like doing something that like fills the vibe, but also allowing in friendship and companionship, something that does feel good. And then after I tell my story, I'm like, wow, thanks for listening. She's like, wow, thanks for sharing. That was such a wild story. And I was like, yeah. She's like, and I could see how you needed to clear that up so you could take your next step. I'm like, oh, thanks. And then I like close it. Okay, I'm done with my shadow work. Now I'm on to what's going to help me hit my goal. Now give me an action step that I can take towards my goal. Because sometimes it's in that action step with I just did something I couldn't do before. Whether you're doing something you couldn't do before, whether you're doing something you did before, but now you do it with a new higher vibe emotion, right? Like I'm making my YouTube videos with much more enthusiasm and eagerness than I did say 2 weeks ago But do you see how that has that combo? I'm willing to clean up any shadow work that needs to be cleaned up so that I can enjoy this. So it's a combo of both. You need something you're moving towards and the willingness to do the back. Otherwise, you're just going to stay in this like, did I just come down to suffer? Okay, in terms of your personal power this month, your personal power is to like take a break from the deep shadow work and go, I need some inspiration. I need a vision. I need a bit of like juicy warmth in my life, of like a hug, of like a recognition that I'm lovable. That could be manifestation too, guys. You don't have to say I'm ready for a relationship. It could be a I'm ready to feel lovable. I'm ready to feel worthy of a relationship. I'm ready to feel worthy of that high paying client. I'm ready to feel valued as if there's someone out there who would pay me 30,000 for that. So it's kind of like your personal power this month is to literally stop putting 100% of your focus on shadow work and subconscious work and give yourself at least 5%, 10% of your focus on what's something enjoyable I could do. And it could be as simple as walking to a cafe and like buying a ginger snap latte. Just like do one nice thing for yourself. If you have more money, book a massage. If you have even more money, maybe a couple new clothes that you just feel good in and attractive in. Because you need to start getting those good for that. That's your personal power this month, is to get some good feeling things in your life. In terms of outside people around you and outside influences are definitely like, oh, honey, couldn't you take a break from work to just enjoy life? Outside influences are definitely trying to encourage you to do that. And that's funny. I'm an outside influence and I'm trying to encourage you to do that. I think you've been dismissing it though, because it's from family. And it's often, I remember when I was where you're at, it's often they don't understand what I'm doing. They don't understand the years of karma and generational karma that I'm unwinding. They don't understand. If you were all in it, they don't understand, they don't get it. Um, yeah, you're the one that's wrong. So, yes, I'll agree that they don't get it. They don't understand why you're doing it. Only you are going to fully understand why you're doing it. But they are right in the sense that you do need to take a breather and a break, right? Like, think about it. A bull can't pull a tractor. That's a bad example, but a bull can't pull a heavy weight nonstop all day long, Or like when I go to the gym and I lift heavy and I'm like overheading 85, I can't do that nonstop. I could do that like twice and then I need to take a break. I need to rest a couple minutes and then I could do a couple more. You're essentially trying to hold your max PR weight. PR, for those who don't lift weight, is personal best. So the highest amount of weight that you can lift, you're trying to hold it over your head for like all day. No, you would put the weight down, you would take a break. So if you would do that while weightlifting, I pushed my muscles to their limit. It's you just don't recognize that you have an emotional limit. So like you're probably, I didn't get boundaries from my parents. I don't want to mock that because that's definitely true if this is your reading. But the boundary that you're trying to get right now is not a sense of reclaiming a past you. It's a reclaiming of I've hit my emotional limit. This is my emotional boundary for how much I can handle and take on. There is nothing better right now than my friends. Um, it was just 2 days ago. I voice clipped a friend. I was like, "Hey, oh my god, I had the craziest dream. Stuff around my mom I got to process." And she goes, "Whoa, I am tapped out in my life. I got this and this and this going on. I'm tapped out." And I was like, "Thanks for letting me know." She has that emotional boundary, that knowing of here's how much I can handle and still get work done in my business. Here's how much I can handle and still be there for my husband. I love it that she did that. I wouldn't want to cross an emotional boundary. If you are at all thinking they're an energy vampire, they're a soul sucker, it's because you don't know your own personal emotional limit. Um, And how you learn that is by recognizing that there's only so much I can handle emotionally before I become ineffective at working and interacting with the day-to-day human level. Okay, your fears or hopes. Your fears or hopes this month are mm, uh, it's kind of like this is as good as it gets. This can't be all I came down here for, to experience that pure innocent bliss when I'm younger. And then now I'm just in all this contrast land. Like, really? And like, you can't go back to that pure bliss. but you're like, I can't just keep doing this the rest of my life, but I get that I still have to keep doing this. So you're kind of like in that nomad's land. Um, and I want to highlight for you guys, there's 3 stages of development. There's the beginning stage, which everyone goes through. It's that innocence, that purity. That's when people have that youthful optimism, the gung ho, like, yeah, let's do it. Why wouldn't it work out? Whatever we put our mind to, we can accomplish. And then what happens, you hit a series of setbacks. You go, oh, no, sometimes you put your mind to something and you don't get the result. Sometimes you put your mind to something and it's not as good as you thought it would be. So it wasn't worth that effort. So then you enter the second phase of development, which is like complicated land. You're like, oh, I can't do that because my mom did XYZ to me when I was younger. Oh, that's not possible for me because I have this issue and I'm unwilling to do the inner work to get it. You're just in like complicated land. And you're at the end of that chapter when you have like the I can't go on like this anymore. So you want to go through the internal death. Don't harm your body. The internal death of I'm giving up complicated land. And the third stage, you can never get the innocent and the purity back from when you're a kid, right? But it's recognizing that life is simple. Life is simple. I want to do this new thing. Of course, I can go to the complicated land and go, here's all the inner children as to why I can't do it. Or I could just recognize life is simple. I want to develop this new skill. This is a new skill I'm developing. Anytime you develop a new skill, of course, there's insecurity in it because it's new. You don't know what to do. You don't know what to expect. If you hit fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, a trauma response, then clean up the inner child, but then get right back to developing the new skill. This is about putting your shift towards that vision for your life and recognizing that anytime you develop a new skill, there's always going to be insecurity, whether there's something from your past or not, that you have a negative emotion associated with that new skill. Okay, in terms of, yeah, this is not a pleasant read for you, Sagittarius. Sorry, but I did give you a lot of good tips to help get you out of this. So hopefully that at least helped. Give me some comments below. In terms of your outcome for this month, you got the 3 of trees. So it's kind of like you're gonna recognize that how I'm approaching solving this problem isn't working. And when you do too much shadow work, you're not actually solving a problem. You're just cleaning up inner children. I will admit, if you go through that phase, I went through that phase and I think I cleaned up like 500. And I was like, what is it all for? What is my result? What am I getting? Like, whoa, I'm starting to recognize that there are plethora of inner children in there that as like it's not helping me move forward in life. So it's you're just going to recognize that it's not working, and it's not working because you don't have a goal that you're going towards. So it's time to develop the goal. And if you don't know what you want, that's when it's time to, like law of attraction, manifest, like inner being. You know me, you know the new me, you know the types of things I like. Show me, guide me to something that would make me feel good. Guide me to something that would make me feel happy. Guide me to something that would make me throw into a giggle fit. So just start manifesting the small things. And you can even start with doing the color game. As you're out on a walk, universe, show me the color yellow. Just to remind yourself that you can put your focus on something new in your life and get it. So start with something small and simple and then go, well, universe, guide me to something that I would enjoy. Guide me to a pleasant conversation. So manifest small things. And as you rebuild your comfort and you can set a manifestation, move towards it, then do okay, fine, I'm looking for a way to make money where I feel happy. Let that idea come to you and take some action on it. That will give you a break from the inner shit you're doing. So yes, in theory, you'll have a lot of your inner children cleared up so that when you set yourself on the new goal, it kind of can explode and take off. But you don't know if the inner children that you're cleaning up right now are something that you'll have to clean up for what you want. So recognize the insecurity in any new skill you develop. Get back to simple. Stop overcomplicating it. And only do inner child work if you hit a trauma response. All right, good luck, Sagittarius. This is the big one for you. Lots of love. Have a good day, week, month. And this month's workshop, October's workshop, is October 26th. It's a synchronization workshop. So you come with your questions that you want to know from source, spirit, infinite intelligence. I'm in the channel mode, telling you exactly what you need to hear to move you forward in life. Lots of love. Bye.